Tea with Monique is brought to you by Mila Eve Essentials. Visit MilaEveEssentials.com for 100% pure, therapeutic essential oils and other products. Nature knows best, and so does Mila Eve.
I came to work. I came to slay. Countdown to the beat drops. True queens don't play. I came to work. Drag, slay, work, hit the stage. Drag queens don't play. Yeah. Stand up to bullies.
Yeah.
You look so pretty.
Hey, what's going on,
honey?
I just did my hair. I got it done right on time. I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I got it done, and it's like
You got inches.
Yeah, I added some little crochet locks up in there, and I was up in my bathroom just like making it happen, and it actually looks good in the back too. What's going on, Boss Squad? How is everybody doing? How was your week? It's so good to see y'all every Wednesday. Thank you, Onyx Blade, who loves my hair. Thank you. Hit that like button as y'all walk into or step into the space virtually. Go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you, Mary. What's going on? I am really excited about I'm always excited about every show. I just really love Tea with Monique. I love being here. I love having these great conversations. Jay, how has your week been going?
I literally felt like crap yesterday. So I took a whole bunch of Benadryl. I had my Breathe Easy and my sinus relief roll-ons.
Oh gosh, you was gonna do it.
Monique, I feel like my immune system is just horrible. I feel like I'm always telling you I'm sick.
No, but when you start doing natural stuff, you constantly are detoxing everything that's been in your system for how many years you've been on this earth, So you do start to kind of push out a lot of things, and you do tend to, your immune system is a little weaker when you're in the detox season and the weather's changing. So typically we detox with the seasons. People don't realize it. They'll just say, oh, cold and flu season, but they don't realize when the seasons change, you always go through some type of purging in your body. So that's actually a natural thing. You should get sick because you're trying to get all that crap out of you. So it is what it is. You got to look at it more positively.
Right. I know.
It's all good. But no, I am looking forward to this topic today, be authentic, because it's something I'm really good at being. And we have none other than the Persian king himself, Amir Yassai. What's up, babe?
Hello, y'all. That picture of me, I was like, who that?
We had two pictures of you. We had one for the promo and one for this.
Yes.
Look, we was being real extra this week.
I love it. Extra is good.
Always. Before we get into it, I do want to tell everyone the reason I have these beautiful bottles of wine here is because I'm going live at 8:15 when we're done this show on the Not for Lazy Moms channel, and we're doing a virtual wine tasting. So if y'all remember, the past couple weeks, I've been telling y'all, I'm gonna put it up on the screen real fast. You can buy 3 bottles of the particular wines listed below, and you'll get 25% off when you buy 3 or more. Promo code is wind down. So I'm extending that to you, even though this is more like a Not for Lazy Mom situation. But go to bellavita.com. The promo code works for everybody up until November 15th. So if you do that, go ahead and take advantage of that sale right in time for the holidays. Stock up on your wine because your family's going to drink it all. At least that's what my family does. Yes. So I want to go ahead and get into the discussion because we have Amir for a little over half our segment tonight. So we want to hear everything you got to tell. And we know you keep the truth and you be real shady with it, but I like it.
That part.
Yes. I figure we start with social media because that's where we see most fraudulence. I don't understand people's needs for being so fake on social media with all these filters and everything else. When I see you in person, I'm going to see who you are.
Oh my God.
Like, I would hate for somebody to come up to me and be like, oh, you're so much prettier with your filters on social media than when I see you in person. I would hate for somebody to say that, It's getting overboard. And
it's become the norm these days.
Yep.
Literally, if people cannot survive without a filter sometimes, and it's really crazy to see.
It's like a security blanket. You know, in the UK, they're actually like not allowing, I think you can't post a filtered photo on Instagram. So it's like a law. They like actually, because it affects your mental health. Like as a gay man, when I go on Instagram and see everybody fit, and like I love my body, but you know, everyone has their moments, and I see everyone's fit. I'm like, is something wrong with me? Like, and I'm 35, let alone if you're 15, and then people can now edit their videos. I didn't know that you could actually make yourself look slim in a video. That's a whole nother look.
I will tell you, this is what gets me on social media. I'm a homebody. You know, I don't really go many places. Even when I was on the show, I'd like to be home. I really do. But I'm like, when I look on social media, why is everybody always out the house? Why are you always dressed to the nines and going somewhere? Go sit down. And then we wonder why they half broke, because they out spending it every night on gas, food, drink, and everything else in outfits. I'm like, if y'all don't go sit down and enjoy your couch, like, I love my couch. I love a Netflix show. I love cuddling with my babies and watching whatever movie they want to watch. Like, I like being in sweats and like chilling with a bonnet on my head.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody earlier, and I don't know if it's just, you know, this year, but last year, the last 2 years, we were all kind of forced to sit on the couch, and we couldn't go anywhere, and everything was closed, and you know, you got a lot of quality time that you either wanted or you really didn't want. Everybody was just stuck together. So I think now this year is the year where we kind of have some sort of leniency when it comes to our social gatherings and stuff like that. And people just really don't know how to act. Like it's like their first taste of freedom. And I'm still very wary of where I go, who I'm around. If I saw you on Snapchat at a party around 50 people, I'll hit you up in 2 weeks. But you know, I think maybe it's just a thing that people feel free again.
Basically, everybody spent a year in quarantine saving all their coin, probably getting ahead in life, starting businesses and thriving, all just to spend it all this year. No, ain't gonna do it. I still don't like shopping. I still don't like going out. I love the quarantine. And I mean, it didn't stop me from leaving the house. Me and my kids would just go sit in the car if we got bored. Change the scenery, you know, or we would do some type of outside activity. We would go see horses or just drive and go to the river and just look, just be out in nature. We actually spent a lot of time outdoors. We were just sitting out back, really just like soaking it all in. So I don't know. I guess it just depends. Some people are social butterflies and they really like to be out on the scene. Right. And that probably could have been very depressing, being forced to stay in your house with your kids and your husband who you probably don't even like.
Well, it goes back to being you, right? Like being authentic. If you're in authentic relationships, like the quarantine shouldn't be a problem. But that's why a lot of people got divorced, because they were living double lives, right? You're partying separately, you're going on trips separately, and then you're like, we're still married. And then when you're stuck together, you're like, this doesn't work for me. So it kind of all leads back to being yourself. It really does. If you like your own company, the rest of it's like kind of cake for me.
Yes. And then when they do the whole relationship posting, like for instance, you'll see all of these beautiful pictures and, oh, he's my guy. Oh, he's the best thing in the world. And next thing you know, you hearing about some breakups or some craziness. And it's very confusing. It's very confusing. Not every picture has to be a post where it's like, oh, we're so in love. I post pictures sometimes of me and Chris, and I'd be like, he gets on my darn nerves, but I cannot see myself with anybody else. I love my husband. And it's just real. Sometimes we don't get along. Sometimes we do. It's marriage. I'm not ever into just posting for kicks and giggles or to make it seem like we're living some life that we're not living. You know, I'm not about to post a picture standing in front of somebody else's car. Like, I'm just not going to do it. You know,
that's tacky. And like, I understand that like there's aspirational posts, like you want to be aspirational, you have a dream board, whatever. But like Persians have a thing called evil eyes. So if you post about your like significant other or your children, people get jealous of that kind of stuff. Like I've always, even though I'm very public, like I've always been wary, like when I'm in a relationship, I don't post all that stuff. Like I'll do like an occasional story or like, oh, we're official, but I don't try to overdo it because people kind of have an evil eye. They kind of want you to go down.
Yes. So have you had any experiences where people judge you? Like you might post something on social media and then get attacked 2 seconds later. Like I remember a while ago, this was a long time ago. Because I really, a lot of times when I post, it's either business or it's like my kids or, you know, little light stuff like that. But a while ago, I posted a picture of me and Chris standing in front of our new car that we brought. And people were just like, and I said basically something to the extent of, you know, hard work pays off or something like that. And then, I mean, people were going in, what hard work, blah, 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 just talking out the side of their neck. Typically who, you know, they might work a 9 to 5. Just because I don't work for someone doesn't mean I'm not working. I work 24/7. Like I am literally up at 5 and I literally go to bed sometimes around 12, 1, 2, depending on what I have going on. So it was just crazy to me because it's like the double standard. But if somebody else posts a picture, I'm not a flashy person. I rarely post pictures of things, you know, it's normally just my face, my kids' faces. I post one picture, proud about a car that I've been wanting to get for a long time. And it was me and my husband in it. And people like went crazy for nothing. Wow. You know?
I don't like that. I'm like, let people live. And if you don't like it, unfollow. Like, that's what I always tell them. I'm like, if you have such a problem, like I posted this picture where I was like, you could see my booty and I was wearing like a bodysuit and all these people were so upset. This is not what I want to see. Then unfollow. This profile is not for you, honey.
Right.
It ain't.
You don't have to announce when you're leaving. Like you literally don't have to make an announcement. Just go.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are so stuck in the social media phase where there are people who actually do get offended if you unfollow them. Like, since when did being unfollowed become such a big deal? Do you like rely on people's followers these days?
Listen,
like, I know like 3 people who got upset because they got unfollowed, which is so crazy.
I'll unfollow you if you don't post enough. And I've unfollowed family. I mean, one of my cousins came over and I was like, when you going to post more? I'm about to unfollow you. And he was dying laughing and he ain't post no more. So I unfollowed him. Like, I like to follow accounts so I can see fun content. Like, I don't want to just like, you know, I want to see something either like triggering or something. I want to see something. But I'm just like, at least when I do post, the one time I did post something material, at least I actually owned it. You know what I'm saying? At least I wasn't leasing it. I wasn't fronting that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mine. It's still mine. Like, it was a real situation. So, yes, exactly, Anna. People are very sensitive for no reason. Like, no reason.
And just angry, Monique, right? Like, just so angry. Like, listen, I know that I maybe don't share everyone's opinion on Dave Chappelle, but I had my own opinions and I posted about it. And that was my opinion. I felt like that's my opinion. And I'm a stand-up comedian and I know how to tell jokes without offending certain groups of people. So I understand comedy. I got so many messages when I posted yesterday, I was eating Chick-fil-A. I got all these messages. Oh, you had a lot of time for Dave Chappelle and then you're eating a chicken sandwich. I'm like, stop conflating the issue. You're connecting two things. I was like, I'm not perfect. I know that they've had a very sordid past, but they have stopped donating to anti-LGBTQ charities. And I was in a rush. And so I went to the drive-thru. I'm not perfect. I'm not Mother Teresa. Just because I'm an activist, I hate that word now because it doesn't allow me to have fun. Someone messaged me the other day and said, oh, as an activist, you shouldn't be eating a nice steak. Really?
Wow.
Really? Like, she's like, you should donate to GLAAD. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah.
I don't get it. I just feel like just because you're an activist doesn't mean that you still don't indulge in certain things. Like, I mean, let's just be real. How many times have we seen just in the Black community, actual clothing lines like Gucci do stuff that is just like, what? You must not have anybody Black in your meeting room. You know, just H&M. They just do stuff. And it's like, this was totally uncalled for and this was ignorant. And then we'll say for 2 days, oh, we're going on strike. And the next thing you know, everybody flashing their Gucci belts and their Gucci purses and everything else. See, that type of stuff is what I just call BS. And I'm more about actual action. I don't have to post and let everybody know that I'm striking or anything like this. I simply buy Black. Like this shirt I'm wearing is from a Black-owned company. I buy Black. I don't have to have all of the labels and all of the designers. And if somebody posts something or does something that I feel is distasteful, I'm just not going to purchase from you anymore. But if I see something that I like, I might change my mind one time. It just is what it is.
And you're allowed to do that. Like, if you're going to start canceling every brand, you're going to be struggling. Because, like, even Louis Vuitton, they have posted pictures of, like, slavery, and they had, like, a museum that was, like, for slavery. I mean, like, if you look at these, like, brands, you're going to be very disappointed. And as someone who worked in fashion PR, I got so many microaggressions, so many comments about my sexuality, so many comments about my identity, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this industry, the way to change it is from the inside out. So that's why I always say, like, diversity on camera, wonderful. Where is the diversity off camera, right? You want the Issa Rae on camera, you want her to be the executive producer as well, right? That's real change.
Oh,
So,
that was a good point.
We can talk about that with just, I remember Real Housewives of New York. I didn't watch any of the season. I saw a few different clips and things like that people were posting on social media. And just from the clips I saw, I said, they need a Black staff. Like, they need Black staff. Like, this is ridiculous, because it seemed very like, let's just throw the Black girl in there and see what happens. You know, it wasn't really done right to me. And they made everything about race, to the point where they couldn't even have a reunion. And then they protected everybody else so that they don't have a reunion, so they don't expose the actual racists. Like, It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. They need to be educated. They
really need help. And then also the idea that Black women or gay people are a monolith, being like, oh, Ebony is so triggered, but Rashawn is not. That's two different. They're two different people. They might be both Black women, but they're two different people. This is the kind of nuance that people kind of miss, like, especially with Bravo. They're like, oh, it's entertaining. And I'm like, I love it. I think it's entertaining, but also understand that, you know, Bravo is protecting an asset, right? Luann and Ramona are going to be on that, like, what is it? Like, All Stars. So they don't want to put them in the line of fire. These are like, just be aware of what companies are doing, right?
But, you know, this is what pisses me off about it. When the whole Black Lives Matter movement started and everybody else was jumping on the bandwagon, acting like they understood the Black, issue, and they all jumped on the bandwagon. But to me, that's fraudulent. Because now when you really can do something and really try to have a learning moment or make real changes, you're not doing it. You're just doing what you need to do in front of people so that people can still think, oh, yes, Bravo posted about Black people. Oh, wonderful. Like, nah, miss me with that bull. Because at the end of the day, you really don't care. Because if you truly care, you would do better. You know what I'm saying? All the way around the board. You wouldn't have to protect your assets, because you would make sure your assets were good people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And well, you know, Monique, it's performative. Like, they call it, you know, black washing, green washing, rainbow washing. A lot of brands in these months, like in, you know, Pride Month or Black History Month, will be like, oh, we're so supportive. We're going to diversity. And then they forget about it the rest of the year. Like, that's just because it also, unfortunately, it does trick people, like Black people or queer people that don't know. They're like, oh, I love this brand. They're supportive of me. It's not true, though. They want your dollars, right?
It's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
All about the money.
Sad.
Crazy. Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Well, Amir, I did have a question. I saw
Hit me with it.
Ernest and Iyanla and Amanda, they were really living for you in this topic. You're very educated on this topic.
Oh, thanks.
And I know I've expressed multiple times how I feel like I'm still kind of learning. You know, I feel like social media, like we have said, it kind of brainwashes people. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to see, you know, what's real from who's really about you and who's really supporting the movements and stuff like that, and who's not. And being friends with Monique, she's really educated me a lot about where our history comes from and, you know, who originated this and who really didn't originate that. And I wanted to ask you, given this day and age of social media was not always here. It just gave us all a different platform to really voice our opinions and build connections, etc. But before social media, were you always this outspoken, and was it hard for you to get to the place that you are now? How did that all come about?
So I think it goes, I'm not going to talk too much because I can definitely get on a soapbox. Me and Ebony talking in my podcast, we were both on soapboxes. I was like, oh my God, we're both running for office. But yeah, I can't help myself. But yeah, it basically, just so for people to quickly understand, I'm a queer Muslim, and that's just not a thing that exists. Like, to be Muslim and also out as a gay man, that's just not something that happens very often. But I was raised in a very conservative family, so I came out very late. I was in my late 20s when I came out. So I think spending all that time hidden away and in a closet, I think I was like, I'm going to make up for lost time. So what's the point of keeping my mouth shut when I feel so strongly about things. So I had gotten off social media because I was in business school. It was distracting. So I was off of it for like 6 or 7 years. And when I got back on, I was like, I'm going to do these panels about breaking down racism in the gay community, because gay men are one of the most racist groups. I've been called Aladdin. I've been called a terrorist. This is all from gay men on dating apps. Like even a couple weeks ago, I got a "Hey Aladdin." I'm like, are you serious? Like, we're in 2021.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Are you serious? I was like, first of all, Aladdin, he's Arab speaking Farsi in the desert. Like, that movie is just so false.
None
like,
of it makes sense. Like, literally, none of it.
I was like, sir, I was like, and he's like, why can't you take a joke? I'm like, it's not funny. Like, these microaggressions are just not funny. So I had started wanting to do these panels, and my first panel was called F Grinder. Because I was very angry. Yeah, it was very aggressive. And then the vice president of Grindr actually came, like, secretly. He didn't tell me he was going to be in the audience. He came, and they started a whole campaign called Kinder Grindr, which was all about, dismantling racism, transphobia, fat shaming. I've been called fat very regularly on dating apps. Even till now, I've gotten messages on Instagram, "You're so fat," whatever. So when I started my Instagram, every day. And I started out, and it was called Coming Out with Love. And I remember talking to my sister about it, and she's like, you don't seem really lovely. Like, you're pissed, like, be frustrated. And I think that's where I started to be more authentic. I realized I'm angry, and being angry as a Persian man, as a Black woman, these things are not allowed, right? We're not allowed, because if I'm too loud, you're being a terrorist. You can't get on the plane. You're this is a real thing.
Isn't that a mess?
Oh, it's a hot mess. And it's like, and it's so funny because people are like, that's not true. And I'm like, that's not your experience. I was actually pitching to a white gay executive, and he's like, this story of you being called a terrorist just doesn't seem real to me. It doesn't seem true. I'm like, honey, you're a white cisgendered gay man in LA, rich. Like, how would you ever be treated badly? I don't understand. Like, of course you don't get it. Wow. So long story short, when I started my Instagram, I was like, I'm not doing love. I'm going to be frustrated. And I realized, wow, there's a lot of people that are frustrated, but don't have the words to kind of express their frustration. Right. Yeah. So then I started kind of taking in, people that were struggling with, their bodies, body positivity, eating disorders, people that were dealing with racism and transphobia. And, I did 10 of those panels. We had drag queens. We had celebrities on the panels, and it just became a big thing. This is before the pandemic. And then through the pandemic, I continued doing Instagram lives and just wanted to just find out what's going on in the world. And I think the more you look, the more you become yourself. And, recently I had a conversation with a queer Black woman who had found out that, in Iran, the Shah had slaves, but he treated the slaves really well. Like, he would educate them. He would dress them very opulently. Of course, they were still slaves, but just even to hear that story of slavery in Iran, in the court system, it's all very interesting. The world is covers up a lot, and I'm going to say this really quickly because I think it's really powerful. Black men have created air conditioning, city planning, jazz. All of that stuff has been attributed to white people, right? So
Black people invented everything. Like, literally, there's a book called Black People Invented Everything. And Black people literally did invent everything because they were the first civilizations. We were the first civilization. Mm-hmm. So you can't take that away from us, but you'll notice that they don't teach it. Oh man, you have me on a whole roll because I literally, my kids learn real Black history every day, and it's not an option. They're not learning about the lies. I'm not teaching them about no Christopher Columbus. Don't nobody know who that is.
He found the wrong place, Monique.
He ain't find nothing. That's the whole point. You ain't find nothing. People were traveling to the Americas way before him. Mansa Musa settled there with his people of Mali way before him. So the Moors traveled the whole world. Listen here, if people knew real history, our outlook on everything would be different, because then we would understand why we're so hated. Why the deeper the melanin is in your skin, the more hated you are, because you used to be God. You used to be worshiped. You used to be the ones that were literally setting the tone for everything. And to be honest, still to this day, the most culturally appropriated race out there. Argue with me, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Listen, my kids, they will tell you everything about ancient Kemet. They know all about the Ankh. They know all about African spirituality, everything, because that's what's important. I was on a podcast the other day, and we did an interview, and they asked me, How was I passing on generational wealth? And could I give advice on how to pass on generational wealth? I said, everybody thinks of wealth in terms of money. To me, that's not passing on much. You can pass on knowledge, and then that person you pass that knowledge on to, who is sure of themselves, who has the confidence, who has the know-how, will make money. Money will come, you know? So to me, what's most important is making sure that my kids understand who they are, you know? So at the end of the day, the knowledge that I pass on to them, learning more than what I learned in my own childhood, is passing on generational wealth. Because guess what? If history wasn't important, we wouldn't have American history, which is full of lies. You know, making people feel good about themselves when it's all lies. You know,
it's all lies. And it's being taught in the UK too. Like they're teaching American slavery in the UK when colonialism birthed, you know, racism and slavery. Like literally that's where it started. And it's just so funny that like the UK can get away with that, right? And again, a lot of people see me, they're like, they think I'm white and they're like, why are you speaking on these topics? But I've had to be 3 times as educated because I want to speak on these topics and I don't want to say the wrong things, but I will also take ownership when I make mistakes. I had posted for Black Mental Health Month. I had said, you know, Black don't crack, but the mind does. And a lot of people were very offended. And I owned that. I apologized. I took down the post and I owned it. You can learn and move forward, but I could have sat there and tried to defend it. Oh, this is what I meant. And keep your mouth shut. When the people that you are speaking on tell you over and over again that something is offensive, you take it down.
Correct.
Right? You understand. And so when people like Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart or other people that are coming for the queer community keep defending it as humor, that's when I'm like, when the queer community is telling you loud and clear, we are offended. We also are more likely to commit suicide. We are more likely to not get promoted. We don't need this, right? Like, and I think that that's what knowing yourself, having the power and the confidence to say that, be like, I can't take this anymore. Like I turned off my comments today because I was like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm a human being. I am, just because you see me in a pretty dress and a wig and I'm friends with so-and-so and you think I have this fabulous life, I also have feelings, right? Like, so knowing yourself and being your most authentic self is not always being powerful. It's sometimes being like, I'm really sad. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's
deep.
Okay.
And I can laugh, like I can make you laugh, but I can also be depressed. I mean, you can live in 2 of those. Like I've done shows with like 100 people in the audience and I was literally so depressed, but everyone had a great night. Everybody laughed. That's called being a performer. That's what you can do, but that doesn't mean you're any less lonely, right?
Right.
That is very true. Would you say something, Monique?
I was about to say, I think people tend to forget because of social media, because it puts so much of this beautiful perfection out there. They forget that we're not all to the left and we're not all to the right. We're all over the place. Sometimes we're in the middle. I'm not the same person I was last year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not the same person I was 2 months ago. I change constantly to better myself. You know, I learn from my mistakes. I learn from things that I see. I'm a growing person. Hello. Like we're literally the epitome of nature. So if you can look outside and you can see that a tree is growing, then you can see that that tree has now formed leaves and now it's fall. So those leaves are turning orange and yellow and all kind of pretty colors. Then they fall off the tree. If we can watch all of this change all the time in nature, why do people think we're supposed to always be one way or the same?
Right.
So,
amen.
It's very
growth, respect my change.
You know, I battle daily with my growth and being authentic because I would like to think that I am being authentic to myself, not necessarily those around me, because I used to care about what people on the outside or my friends or family really thought. And when I got older, I came to the realization that you really have to be at peace with yourself before you put on for anybody. Amen. And I have come to the conclusion that a lot of people say this about me, but it really took time for me to like understand I am a very sensitive person. And I'm very sensitive because when I'm for you 100%, probably more than I am my own self. And so any slight change or any funny movement, I take it hard. And then I either shut down, shut you out, do all of that. And it took me losing friends, family, you know, whatever it is, to really understand how deep my sensitivity was. And I used to think that it was such a flaw of mine because it's like, okay, you're letting go of these relationships or opportunities or whatever. Like, you got to get tough skin, you got to toughen up. But I love my sensitivity. Now, as I'm getting older, does every action, argument, disagreement require a cutoff or, icing you out? Absolutely not. But being in tune with my feelings now is more important than ever. I love when I'm angry because that lets me know that my body is working. I'm expressing my emotions correctly. I love when I'm sad because, okay, I actually do have a heart and I do have sympathy for people, and when I can walk into a room and people are smiling and happy that I'm there, I'm happy because my energy's right. So I think right now I'm on the journey with being authentically myself for myself and not for others. And like on social media, I used to want to post a quote that had a curse word, but I was too afraid of the people who follow me. Oh, are you going to get offended that I have a post that says the F word? So I wouldn't even post it, or I would put it on my close friends. And that's not no way to live when you can't even be who you are. I have a potty mouth. I wake up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes, and I don't think I need to mask that for social media or anybody in my everyday life.
Yes.
So I have really come to terms with who I am these days, and I'm so happy.
Yeah. Life is a journey. It's a journey for a reason. It's not a straight and narrow, straight away. You know what I'm saying? It's not a road that you just go on and it's just straight. Like, you got all kind of exits and turns and U-turns and sharp turns. Some people just drive in circles. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't learn.
I deal with a lot of those people. I'm like, really? You're saying the same thing over and over again.
Listen, when you do not learn from your past mistakes, this is what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. I see 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds still doing this. So it's best to learn it sooner than later.
Yeah.
If you keep repeating the same, if you keep coming up against the same situation, it's telling you something. Yes. You got to change, grow. But it's
you got to grow. You know, Monique, what it is, it's those all love people. I get a lot of those people in my comments. It's all love and you're so negative and we need to be positive. I'm sorry. If you're someone who's a minority in this country, who's been, treated differently, have been marginalized, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be positive like all the time. Like that's just, and whenever, and not to like single out a group, but generally when I click it, it's like rich white women who are like, all love is love. And I'm like, honey, like life is hard for us sometimes. Like, yes, financially, I might have things in order, but there are other struggles, right? Like when I go into rooms, like I was pitching Apple TV and then the executive was like, I thought you were going to be more dramatic. Why would I be dramatic in a business meeting? Did you think I was going to come and drag? Wow. I don't know what right. And these are microaggressions, or I've been on set before. I did Love Victor. I consulted on that last summer. And one of the directors was like, wow, you're so knowledgeable. That's a microaggression. Why wouldn't you hired me as the consultant? Why wouldn't I be?
Right.
Weird comment. I'm a Muslim person that's consulting on a show with a gay Muslim character. Wouldn't I know what I'm doing? But those are the microaggressions. Or when I was leaving, the director was like, you did a really good job. You really impressed me. I was really surprised. Wow. That's not a compliment. These are, and I say these things, I want people that are working, that are marginalized, to keep their eyes open. And I was talking to Ebony about this. It's not about where you are. You could be at CNN and you're going to hear these things. So you have to you just be aware. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be negative, but be aware.
On Monday, I had a very tense moment with my colleagues. I work with special needs kids. There's only a few of us. I'm the only Black gay guy there. There's only 2 guys in the whole center filled with women, and the other one's straight. So I'm different, but you get what I'm saying. I'm different, but we're all here for the kids and stuff like that. And it is a very high stress environment. So you do bump heads with your colleagues, especially when it's trying to benefit the children, etc. But there was a tense conversation that was happening, and an older white guy, I'm also the youngest in the center, an older white guy was talking to me, but his tone was very pointed. It was like 4 of us, me, him, and 2 women. Their energy was right. It's just an open conversation. but his energy towards me was very like aggressive and, you know, very just like raw. But his tone was how we're talking now, very monotone, but very passive. Me being me, I am very expressive. I talk with my hands. I don't sugarcoat things, especially when I feel like I'm put up against a wall. So how we're talking now, that's how he was talking to me. But I talk with my hands and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And everybody was like, you're being so aggressive. Do you think you can talk to him that way? What's wrong? Calm down. And I flat out said, why are we addressing how I'm speaking, but not the action that warranted this response?
Right.
I'm not calling him out of his name. I'm not doing anything, but I'm not sitting back and taking it. And they escorted me out the room. Not, you know, it was this big deal, and they wanted to talk to me one-on-one and be like, I understand how you feel. Of course, it's one-on-one when they tell you, I understand how you feel.
I hate that.
Calm down. And I flat out said, why is this conversation being hidden? Why can't we have an open discussion about how my response was warranted?
Right.
Well, you know, timing in place, and we don't want to check him in front of you. Oh, but you can check me in front of him? No, absolutely not.
I don't like that.
And I do have a very short fuse. That's one of my things that I can own. And I don't like when people talk to me in a condescending tone, or just because I'm not raw doesn't mean you're not disrespecting me. And I already felt like I had a quote unquote target, because the only Black gay guy there, the youngest one there, the most outspoken one there, everybody always expects me to be on the pop off. And that is true. And I hate that I feed into that at times. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when we all came back together, I just had to flat out say, you know, if we're not talking about the children, you and me do not have to have a conversation anywhere in life. And he kept apologizing, but he kept saying, but. And I had to let him know, apologies do not require a but, because you're trying to justify your verbiage to me.
Right.
And everybody was like, you should just accept the apology. It's not an apology if you feel like you have to justify why you're apologizing.
Don't say but.
Right.
If you say but, it's not an apology. I told clients, I was like, don't say but.
I hate when people say, if I offended you.
Right. No, you did offend me.
Well, what we here for?
Yes.
You offended.
Don't say if. Don't say if. I don't like that.
It was really the first time in my 22 years of life where I honestly felt like I felt the Black person is always aggressive and things like that. I've never experienced that, but I've seen it on TV. And to actually experience that, I had to let them know, they were saying, he's not coming for you. You cannot tell a person who felt attacked how they are feeling.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not, you can't do that, because I would be in a butthole if I told you, oh, don't cry. It's not worthy crying over. You're crying for a reason, because you felt it was worthy to cry over. So I am responding because I felt that it was the appropriate response. But I've never in my life felt that arrow over me as the angry Black person and saw the narrative painted about my own self. That was crazy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's so effed
crazy.
Up. And that kind of stuff happens, Jay, unfortunately. Like, my ex was Ethiopian, and there was an issue with our table once at a restaurant. And I'm Middle Eastern, so I pop off. Like, I have attitude. I don't really care. I roll my eyes. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. He didn't say a word, but they blamed him because he's a Black man. They were like, oh, you're being very aggressive. The man hadn't spoke. I was like, I'm being aggressive. I was literally in front of him being like, I'm the one being aggressive. And they were like, oh, no, you're good. He's being
crazy. That is crazy.
I was like, and he was so unfazed. And that's where, like, that was the first time that, like, my heart, I like felt like, not that I can ever understand what it's like to be a Black man, but there was a moment where I was like, wow, like, he's so unfazed by this because it's probably happening a lot. He was like, let's just go eat. I was like, babe, we are not eating in this hellhole. I'm burning this to the ground.
Listen, I'm the one that, if I feel, especially when it's like racist type of crap, I'm like, you ain't getting my coin. I remember me, my sister, my husband, we were in Hawaii. This was years ago. And we get to the restaurant and they literally, there was nobody in there and they would not seat us. And I'm sitting here looking like, well, what in the world's going on? I'm like, can we get a table? And oh yeah, I'll be with you shortly. And then they seated somebody else who happened to be white. And I'm like, hold on, I know this ain't going down right now. So I'm like, no, let's go. My sister and my husband talking about, well, I don't feel like trying to find another restaurant. I was pissed. I was like, I'm not giving them none of my money. I sat there, I ain't eat nothing, I ain't drink nothing. Because I'm passionate like that about something like that. I'm like, y'all are crazy. I was so pissed at them. I'm like, no, we need to leave because they're blatantly, I don't trust you at this point because you ain't spitting in my food.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't about to put something in my drink. Like at this point, you showing me too much of who you are, and I ain't trusting you. And I definitely ain't eating nothing you putting on my table. I said, nah, y'all go ahead, y'all do that if y'all want. I'm not doing it. No, Listen, Amir, I know you have to get going. I don't.
I wish I didn't have to. I love you guys. This was so fun.
No, this was excellent. This was excellent. You know, you're always welcome on this channel, and I'd love to have you back as always. Everybody, make sure that y'all follow Amir on social media. Listen to the Take On podcast. He is hilarious. Y'all already know he be keeping it real, as y'all could see. So, yeah, I just want to thank you so much for coming tonight. Jay and I are going to stay on for the next 20 minutes. We'll finish the conversation. But I know you booked and busy, boo.
Oh, thank you. Y'all are the best. Mwah. And thanks. The comments have been so lovely. Y'all are amazing. I'll come back anytime.
You are amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Thanks, Monique. I'll see y'all soon. If you guys come to LA, you got to call me. Okay, bye.
Oh, definitely.
Period.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, I love his energy.
Yes, no, he's amazing. So yes, make sure y'all follow Amir on Instagram. I love when people, give us time. Tea with Monique is doing its thing, y'all. I'm really
loving these open and honest conversations.
Yes. The earnest truth said Mo went on a hunger strike. I sure did. Listen, I was pissed. I was so mad at them because y'all gotta understand, my sister and my husband are so similar. So it didn't surprise me that both of them were on the same page. And I'm the only one that's like standing for my right. Like I'm not about to get this racist establishment my money. I'm not about to eat this food. And they just sitting there like, so what you about to order? I'm like, I was livid. I was so mad.
I was going to say something. Yes. I will say, I don't know if other Black people experience this, but going back to what I experienced on Monday, I went home feeling like as if I did something wrong. Because yesterday on Tuesday, everybody acted like they were scared of me. And I don't know if that's like a thing that people do when I'm trying to word it and use the proper verbiage, but I felt like everybody felt like since they saw the like raw side of me, everybody was kind of like had their hands up and like we're walking on eggshells. As soon as I walked in, everybody's like apologizing. And I really deep down inside felt like, well, I don't want these people to be afraid of me. I don't want, them to be, like it was a weird feeling that I normally when I pop off, I feel much better. Like I'm not stunning you, but this was like totally different. And I don't know if it was because I was called aggressive and, just the whole narrative and the energy of that whole moment.
Right.
But I felt like if I felt that, there has to be so many other people out there who let others make them feel that way. Like as if they did something wrong.
And that's honestly, crazy. It's not easy, but you have to get to a point where you're so secure in who you are and you know who you are. Mm-hmm. You had a moment. Everybody has a moment. Everybody has times where their buttons are pushed to a point, but at the end of the day, the core of you. Right. And you can't really let what you think other people are thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if they come to you and they say, Jay, after that whole incident, I'm really afraid of you. And I'm really, it's one thing if they came out and said that, you would give you confirmation, but you'll literally drive yourself crazy trying to think if they're thinking this about you or that about you. I would just let it go. You know who you are, continue shining your light. And just, who you can have conversations with and just take it that way, Right. Yeah. Yes. Someone asked a question about, so Onyx wanted to know, did you find a date to have your interview with Candy? Yes, we are going to have Candy on the channel on November 15th, which is a Monday. That is the week right before the holidays start getting going. So we are going to have a special Monday night episode with Candy at 7:00. And we will not have an episode on that Wednesday. So we're actually going to go on hiatus for 2 weeks after Candy's interview. So, but yes, she will be here November 15th. So make sure y'all mark y'all's calendar or whatever. But as soon as I upload it, y'all will see it. Y'all can hit the reminder. If you follow us, please follow us. Make sure you subscribe, and you'll get a reminder when she's due to come and all of that good stuff. So make sure y'all follow. Make sure you hit the like button too tonight, because this has been a great conversation. Make sure you spread the word, share the video, tell everybody about Tea with Monique. You know, we're not one of those channels that just talks about a bunch of gossip and, you know, the latest of the news, but we like to talk about some real life lesson based conversation and have good people on. And we have the next few weeks, we have some really like lit episodes about to happen.
Excited.
Yeah. So just since we have the time, next Wednesday, we're going to have Chris Medina back, the psychic medium, Chris Medina. Y'all already know how those episodes go. But this episode is going to be a little different. We're going to be talking about your life's purpose and walking in your truth and being enlightened, you know, finding your inner self and that what you're passionate about and all that type of stuff. So yes, so make sure y'all subscribe. So that's going to be next week. And joining him is going to be DJ Richie Sky.
Love Richie.
Yes, it's going to be really good. It's going to be a good conversation. Y'all know DJ Richie's always dropping some gems. So yes, Chris Medina will be here next week along with DJ Richie Sky. And then after that, we will have who's after that? I believe. Wait, November 10th. November 10th is Karen Huger. Karen Huger from Housewives of Potomac will be here. The Grand Dame is going to be here. We're going to be discussing minding your business. You know, mind your business. Literally, entrepreneurship 101. So that's going to be November 10th. Yep. And then Candy will be here November 15th. And then we'll have a 2-week break. Yeah.
Ernest said Chris is a part of the panel at this point. Honestly,
I know.
He's like the third co-host.
He just needs to drop in every month, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to bug him too much and take up all his time, but I'm just saying he's amazing. He really is. Yes. So that's the rundown. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking. Yes, everybody get excited. Spread the word. Yes, I know y'all been waiting for Candy. I know you know she's a whole boss, and she's making time for Tea with Monique. So I'm excited.
Isn't it crazy? Like, I honestly did not think we would still be doing episodes from our first episode. Like, Tea with Monique has been going on for like, well, okay, not in that way.
I just knew it was going to go on.
Not in that way, but I didn't realize like how dope it would become. Like, I knew it was something dope, but we have transformed since our very first episode.
Yeah, it started out as the channel itself started out as just Q&A, you know? So I love that it's taken it to a point where it's very like YouTube talk show-ish, you know? It's really cool. And I like the fact that when we do have guests on who are celebrities, we're not really talking about what may make them famous. We're talking about the behind that talent, you know, getting to know them on a different level and understanding who they are as people. So I really appreciate that about how our shows go. It's great.
This has actually become like my free therapy. Like I have cried, I've laughed, I've argued, I've done so much on this show, and it's always felt good at the end. Like I always leave learning something more about myself and others, or how I could have done something different, or, you know, look at it from this perspective. Like, this has really been so helpful to me, and I'm sure others who watch.
Absolutely. That, I mean, look, if you ain't doing what makes you happy, you got to do something else.
Listen.
We need Portia too. I know. I listen. I'm going to get Portia on one of these days when she ain't so booked and busy. But yes. I can never forget Mo's live with Karen and Ray.
Oh
my God. On Instagram.
Wait, I'm having a moment.
Everybody said drink every time Karen says moment.
My God.
I started playing the game too.
That was so funny.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So yes. Yes, Karen was litty. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know to keep the live going or hang up. I didn't know what to do. I was just stuck, y'all. Yes. Thank you, Anna. It was fire from day one. It's not about gossip. It's about real issues and core values. I love it. I love it. And I thank you for seeing that. Yes.
So Monique, how was your week?
My week has been great. I have, since I've come back from my my trip when I went to Tucson.
Yes.
I I have been really adamant about not being so busy. I wanted to be more energetic. I don't want to say I'm tired all day long. I'm exhausted. So I had to really change my my mindset, and I had to also just kind of like restructure my thoughts and how I spoke about my day or how I wanted my day to be. So since the trip, I wake up with intention. I set my intention for the day. I look at whatever I have on my calendar. I always look at the night before, so I know what I have to do the next day. And then I set my intention for the day, and I only do that. I'm not doing no extra. I'm not doing no more. My day ends at 5 o'clock. Don't ask me nothing. Don't talk to me. I'm with my kids after 5, and that's it. I get up early. I get up before everybody else in the house. So I've created a nice routine, and I feel very refreshed. I don't feel like my tasks are overtaking my day, and I feel really good. Like I feel my energy feels amazing. Like I feel really good, and I know where I want to go, and I'm doing everything that falls within that final destination. I'm not moving my boundaries for anybody. I'm taking notes of everything that I see, touch, feel, all of these different things that are around me. And I'm making my little mental notes. And then I'm like, okay, I know how I want to move. It's a nice thing. You can sit back and just kind of have that time with yourself and really refocus. So I suggest everybody turn social media off. Just take a day at least, Yeah,
I actually think that that's what I need. I am in a relationship now. So and I've been in relationships before, but this one is just very different. And I'm taking the appropriate steps, just to make sure it's all right. But what I have noticed is that I've been putting a lot of the things that I want to do and need to do on the back burner.
Oh, you're in love.
Well, and and that's what people are saying. Like my friends, they're like, "Oh, are you out of your love bubble?" And I'm like, "I think so. Like the love is there, but like I'm ready to like focus." And I think I've been single and kind of like worrying about myself to where I didn't really have to worry about prioritizing people. And that's something really new to me. Like actually, making somebody a priority and then making other things priority. I just kind of did things whenever I wanted to.
Right.
And now it's like, it's not a job. I do not want to say it's a job, but I don't know how else to describe it, but it is something that has to be done. And I'm talking about the relationship part, like making sure that I'm available and like we're communicating and stuff like that, because it is very fun. It's very nice and I love it, but I don't want to neglect them or what I want to do. And I'm really struggling to find the balance right now. And I don't know if it'll come sooner, maybe because it's just really new and you're like really in tune with each other and just staying near each other all the time.
Yeah, enjoy that moment.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, yeah.
My friends ain't seen me. They knew when I was in a relationship. They ain't seen me. They be like, come on, let's go out. Nope. They be like, oh, you all booed up. Yep. I ain't feel bad about it either.
Yeah, he met my friends this past weekend. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's happened to me. I was going to be single forever.
No. It's so crazy because didn't Chris call that out?
The first episode.
Yeah.
He literally was like, what's going on with your love life? And I had no idea what he meant. So it's just,
yes,
crazy how things change.
It is. Yes. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Likes are free. If you want to do something to support this channel, hit the like button. Then scroll through all of our other videos and hit those like buttons too. Yes. No, I love it. Mary wants to know what his sign is.
He's a Capricorn.
Wow. Wait, didn't he say Capricorn was a good match for Taurus?
Yes.
That is wild.
Yes. And I've noticed he keeps me sane a lot. Like whenever I'm like getting agitated or rubbed the wrong way, he'll take my phone and we'll talk and all that. And I need somebody, whether it's a relationship or just a friend. Like you always need that one person who's going to keep you sane and help you see the positive out of the negative. And he does that a lot. So yeah, but I looked up the zodiac traits and compatibility, and it was like 99.9.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Wow, that's so crazy because he did say Capricorn would be a good match for Taurus. I think I remember him saying that. That's really cool. I love it. Chris is a matchmaker. Listen, y'all, Chris Medina is the truth. So we've been doing these episodes called Zodiac Dating with him. But the next time he comes, we're going to just do like a full out life situation. But he definitely will let you know if you're in the right field or not. He be on point. I really like having him on the show. I think he just brings something new and different. And he's kind of exposing us to just something different, especially for how I grew up. In church and things like that, where the prophet was the only one that can, tell the future if you're paying an offering, but then you can't talk to a psychic medium who has the same gift. It's like, yeah, but no, it's been really fun having him on. I do want to remind everybody, 25% off, visit bellavita.com now through November 15th. November 15th is also the day that Candy will be on the show. So you have up until the 15th to buy some wine. If you get 3 bottles or more, you'll get 25% off. That is a very steep discount. 25% off on wine is like, yes. And if you want to know what I think about how it tastes, make sure y'all hop on over to Not for Lazy Moms YouTube channel at 8:15. So as soon as I log off here, I'll be jumping on for Wine Down Wednesday. The owner of Bella Vita Vineyard is joining us. His name is Stephen Whiteside, and he is going to give us a whole walkthrough of these wines, and I'm going to be tasting every last one of them. I haven't had wine all week because I've been waiting for this moment. And yes, oh man, let me tell y'all something about let me pull this banner. So hold on, let me pop the image up on the screen. Bam. Buy 3, save 25%. Go ahead, take a picture, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do. Go to bellavita.com, promo code Wine Down, all that good stuff. I got to tell y'all something so crazy, right? So when you start eating right and when you start like really changing your diet, oh my God, you cannot go back. It's hard. So I have stopped eating sugar. For anybody who's followed me on social media, y'all know how I used to be about my Reese's Cups. Like y'all know, right? So I don't really eat sugar that often. If I do, it's in small portions, and I can't even drink sugary beverages anymore. The sugar just does something to me. It gives me like this sugar rush, I guess you want to call it. And I feel really lightheaded. I feel weak. I feel like I'm about to faint. It's like too much sugar. It's weird, right? I took my kids to the zoo, and after we were leaving, they had funnel cakes. Oh, I love funnel cake. And my kids never had a funnel cake before. So what? Like, cool. Yes, they never had funnel cake. Yeah.
Isn't Christopher like 9? How old is Christopher?
He's 8.
He ain't never had a funnel cake?
No, because we don't be going nowhere. And they don't really eat stuff like that,
Oh my goodness.
Crazy. So I ate some funnel cake. Me and my kids, we sat in the car and tore that mug up. I was like, oh, so good. Eating it so good. We pull off to drive home. It's a 30-minute drive home. I'm like getting real hot. My mouth starts getting weird. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm about to pass out. I had to
my gosh.
Over. Yes, I had to pull over on the side of the road and just reassure my kids that mommy's okay. But I was not okay. I felt like I was about to vomit everywhere. So I stopped. I had a bottle of water. So I start drinking my water. I get out the car. I stretch. I move around, get some fresh air. And I was like, whoa. I could not get myself together. That sugar, my body was like, don't you dare put that in me. Yes, it was like, it was bad. And then I was like, I drove home and I had to just be quiet and just focus. Like, let me get home. I felt awful. Oh my God. I felt completely awful. It literally took me out for the rest of the night. I was no good. Yeah. So I can't do sugar no more.
That's kind of like equivalent to when people stop eating meat for so long and then that first taste of meat, they get sick.
Dita said, did you get the runs? I didn't get the runs, but trust that bathroom was done. It was lit up. I was like, yo, what in the world? It was terrible.
Oh
Thank
my
y'all
gosh.
so much. Yes.
I forgot to tell you, last week, I finally met Tiffany Moon.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh my God, that's
I
awesome.
know. We talked for a while. She was doing like a pop-up shop with like Claudia Jordan was there. It was a whole bunch of different pop-up shops, and it's like 15 minutes away from me. And I told her I was going to come. And it was so cool seeing her in person rather than like the 2 times she's been on the show. And it was like we were just having great conversations. I got a candle. It was really nice. She's so sweet.
Oh, yeah, she really is a sweetheart. We haven't met in person yet, but yeah, she's really cool. Oh my God, you're right. Probably the dairy and the eggs in the batter too. I did not think about that. Oh man, 'cause I don't do dairy. So the dairy and the sugar and all the other GMO crap that was probably in it. Yes, yeah, that was awful.
That makes sense.
Dita said, how's hangovers now with this healthy living? I don't get them because listen, I have a limit and I can't go past it. I don't even want to. I don't desire wine in quantities that I used to. And there's certain wines that I just won't drink. I can't have anything too sweet. I like something that's a little bit more on the peppery side. I have 1 glass and I'm good. Now, if I have 2, I'm done. Like, just put me in bed. I'm done. So yeah, I don't even want it. I don't have the desire anymore. So yeah, it's just a different, situation. Yes, hit the like button, y'all. It's already 8 o'clock. Jeez,
wow, time just flew.
Yes. So listen, y'all go ahead and meet me at the Not for Lazy Moms YouTube channel. I'll be on with Riley Knox and the owner of this delicious wine that we're about to taste, Bella Vita. Stephen Whiteside is going to be there. So yeah, take advantage of the promo. And like Dita said, I think that was Dita said, who buys less? Yeah, he said, who buys less than 3 bottles? 1 for you, 2 for me. Exactly. Normally, whenever we buy wine, we always get it by the case. And that mess might last a week. It lasts a little longer now. Chris, the only one that be drinking it for real. But yeah, no, this was an excellent episode. I can't wait to see y'all back. Next week, we'll have Chris Medina and we'll see. I will ask him if we can do audience readings again. That was really fun. Will you make Chris available for the audience? Yes, we will try to do that. I will talk to him and I'll see how he feels about that. But make sure y'all go ahead and support him, going over his Instagram, check out his link tree and all that good stuff, and follow him and support him. He's a really, really cool dude. Yes, so listen, y'all have an amazing night. Jay, thank you. This has been a great episode. Jay came up with the topic tonight, y'all. This was something he came up with, and I'm really excited. I felt like the conversation was amazing. It flowed, and I feel like we all learned something. We're all walking away with more knowledge, which is what it's all about. I just hope that when y'all come to Tea with Monique, you become a whole person. That's about to be my tagline.
A whole person.
A whole person.
Whole person.
Yes. All right. Well, until next week. And if y'all want, go ahead. All of y'all that's in this room right now, in 15 minutes, well, less than 15, at 8:15. So go ahead and take a little potty break. Go get some wine. If you don't have this wine, just get a wine. We can all drink together. We'll just have together.
What is this? Fireball. Yes.
Oh. Fireball. All right.
We're sipping in increments.
I know that's right. Well, come on over and sip with us at 8:15. We will see y'all there. We will see you next week with Chris Medina and DJ Richie Sky. Y'all have a blessed night and be a whole person. Bye.
Play, work, hit the stage, then I'm gonna make you work. What you gonna do? Then I'm gonna make you say, what you gonna do? Right on the beat till it hurts. Drag, play. Then I'm gonna make you work. What you gonna do? Then I'm gonna make you say, what you gonna do? Right on the beat till it hurts. Drag, play.